Welcome back to our channel. Today, we're diving into an essential topic that every business student needs to master: final accounts. Whether you're prepping for your exams or just want to understand how businesses keep track of their finances, this video is for you. In this video series, we'll cover two essential components of final accounts: the statement of profit and loss account, also called the income statement; the statement of financial position, commonly known as the balance sheet. The income statement will be our focus in part 1, while the balance sheet will be discussed in part 2. Let's begin with part 1 of our series on final accounts. In this part, we'll focus on the income statement, also known as the profit and loss account. The income statement, or statement of profit and loss, is a financial document that outlines a firm's sales revenue over a specific trading period, along with all the costs incurred to generate that revenue. In constructing this statement, 4 key types of profit are identified: gross profit, profit before interest and tax, profit before tax, profit for the period. Let's take a closer look at the structure of an income statement. It starts with the sales revenue, followed by the cost of sales, which gives us the gross profit. Next, we deduct expenses, leading to the profit before interest and tax. Then, we account for interest, or financing costs, to get the profit before tax. After that, tax on profits is subtracted, leaving us with the profit for the period. Finally, we have the dividends paid out, and the remaining amount becomes the retained profit. First, we calculate gross profit. This is done by subtracting the cost of sales from sales revenue, giving us an idea of how much money the company makes from its core activities before considering other expenses. To find out cost of goods sold, or COGS, we use a simple formula. COGS equals opening stock plus purchases, closing stock. This formula helps determine the direct costs involved in producing goods or services sold by a business. It includes expenses such as raw materials and labor. Can you calculate the gross profit? Now, let's put your knowledge to the test. Can you calculate the gross profit using the sales revenue and cost of sales? Here's the question for you. If the sales revenue is given and you know the cost of sales, can you figure out the gross profit? Let's see how well you understand the concept. Here's the answer. To calculate gross profit, simply subtract the cost of sales from the sales. So, if the sales revenue is $500,000 and the cost of sales is $105,000, the gross profit would be $395,000. Now it's your turn. Can you calculate the gross profit for the following figures? Drop your answer in the comments below, and let's see how you did. Secondly, we calculate profit before interest and tax. To find profit before interest and tax, we subtract expenses from gross profit. This figure gives us an idea of the company's profitability from its core operations before considering any interest or taxes. Now, let's talk about expenses. These are the costs incurred in running a business and are subtracted from gross profit to calculate profit before interest and tax. The expenses include distribution costs, rent, advertisement, salaries of employees involved in administration. Now it's your turn again. Can you calculate profit before interest and tax using the figures we've provided? Remember, the formula is profit before interest and tax equals gross profit expenses. Great job if you got this right. Let's review the breakdown together. The gross profit is $395,000. From that, we subtract expenses of $295,000. This gives us the profit before interest and tax, which is $100,000. Did you get it? Let us know in the comments how you did. Now, let's calculate the profit for the period. To calculate the profit for the period, there are 2 key steps. Firstly, by the Inclusion of interest received by the business and interest paid by it. Secondly, it is necessary to make any necessary allowance for tax paid by the company on its profits. The first step is to calculate profit before tax. To do this, we start with the profit before interest and tax and subtract the interest paid. This gives us the profit the business has earned before accounting for taxes. Now it's your turn. Can you calculate the profit before tax? Here's a hint. Subtract the interest paid from the profit before interest and tax. Here's the correct answer. Starting with the profit before interest and tax, which is $100,000, we subtract the interest paid, $5,000. This gives us a profit before tax of $95,000. Great job if you got it right. Now, let's calculate the profit for the period. To do this, we take the profit before tax and subtract the tax on profits. This final figure represents the business's net earnings after all taxes and financial obligations have been accounted for. Now it's your turn again. Can you calculate the profit for the period? Here's a hint. Subtract the tax on profits from the profit before tax. Here's the correct answer. Starting with the profit before tax, which is $95,000, we subtract the tax on profits, $12,000. This gives us a profit for the period of $83,000. Now, let's look at how the profits are used. The final part of the profit and loss account shows how the business allocates its profit for the year. Common options include paying dividends, sharing profits with shareholders, retaining profits, reinvesting them back into the business. Now, it's your turn. Can you figure out how the profits are used by the business? Think about how the profit for the period is divided between dividends and retained profit. Here's the correct answer. Starting with the profit for the period, which is $83,000, we subtract the dividends, $12,000. This leaves us with retained profit, which is $71,000. This retained profit is reinvested into the business for growth and future development. Now it's time for you to try it yourself. Based on the following information, can you construct Grace Cafe Ltd's statement of profit and loss for its most recent financial year? Take a screenshot of this question, work through the numbers, and feel free to share your answers in the comments or reach out to us for assistance. Thank you for watching. If you found this video helpful, don't forget to subscribe and press the bell icon to get updates on future videos. We'll see you next time.